welcome back to Openings Hour. This is the Kitten Diary Part 2. We should finish this today. I was hoping to get it finished yesterday, but obviously I'm a little bit slower doing that than I anticipate or hope. Just bear with me, I want to change one thing. Hold on. Alrighty, that should work a little bit better. So this is how far we got up to. Remember, I'd done most of it anyway, so we're on the last few stages. I've got some what I would class as tricky things for me, and I'm going to do it probably slightly different to what they say in the book. Anyway, we made a couple of pairs of mules, M-U-L-E-S. Sounds really weird. I listened back to the one that I did yesterday, and it did sound a bit strange. Didn't sound like I said that at all. I also noticed on the video that I did yesterday that there's a little bit of lag on my speech, so I've changed a few things around on that, so I'm hoping that this one works better. So I'm really happy with my little mules, bearing in mind that they are going to be stuck to the ground, and so therefore it would ground the floor, so it would work. We also made these two pictures. It doesn't seem like we did much at all, and that one's upside down. And we made started on making the buckets, which I've got here. Also made the little handles, which I've just got off of camera, and I stripped the wires so that, as it explained in the instructions, really kind of difficult for you to see that, but it gives you a better idea. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a hole in both sides of the buckets in order to put the handle through, hopefully. So I just got a normal pin, a bobby pin, and I'm just going to poke that through and give it a wiggle around so it's big enough. And I'm just going to send it straight through to the other side so that it's roughly symmetrical. Like we say, it doesn't overly matter, so I'm going to do that. Give it a good wiggle around, make sure it's big enough for it, and do that. Right, let's see if we can get that glued in. So I'm going to use B7000 for this, especially if I can get it open. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on both sides of the handles to hold them in, especially if I can get them to go round, which obviously I have problems with my hands right now, but it's okay. So I'm going to do that and get rid of the secret wires that want to be there, and I'll see if I can remember where I made those holes. I know one's there. They are really hard to see, to be honest with you. There's one in. I'm going to expand that to find the other one, which is probably around here somewhere. I cannot see it, so I'm going to make another one and then put this straight in. Okay, I'm gonna, well, you can see I definitely get myself into some real pickles. Let me get some tweezers because I can see the hole, just can't get this thing in. And then we get on to doing some pictures. We don't at all. We make some flowers. I knew what I meant. Right, okay, finally we got that in, and so you can see there's a little bit of bucket there, and with its little handle, which I'm going to leave up. In the photo it kind of shows it down, but I'm quite happy to have it up there really, and it's going to be, maybe it's meant to be down in order to look better. So down we go. Alright, so you can see, hopefully, now that got the little in, I'm just going to leave it in like that, and I'm going to go ahead and get the other one done. Okay, alright, so I'm going to put these to one side now to dry. I've done the second one. I actually prefer it. It's a little bit lower down, the handle itself. So I prefer that, but I'm going to put them to one side in order for them to dry while I make flowers. And once I've finished all the flowers, then I will be ready to put them in. Get rid of this pin that I can get out the way, and I can get all the flowers together and get it ready. So I need, let's see, I need two of these, actually, not three. I need 5 altogether, so I'm just gonna cut them. I'm gonna get quite small ones. 1, 2. This is really easy to cut. I mean, you could do this with scissors. Very straightforward. 3, 4. I don't want huge ones, so I'm just trying to get some of the smaller ones. Maybe not that one. That's kind of too sort. Oh, I quite like that one. Get that one. So that's 5 altogether. So that's those ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the other one went over there. No wonder I couldn't find it. All right, I finished with the pink now. That can go back in the box. Won't be needing the rest of that. Then I need just one of these, which is just the like dried flowers, basically. And I'm just going to grab that bit right down there, and that's the only bit I will need from there. So that can go away. Then I'm also going to need, let's have a look here. So I don't need any more of this pink, so I'll get rid of that. I'm going to need this one here, with maybe a little bit less of there, and that'll be thrown away. So that will be there. I can get rid of that too, don't really need that. A sprig of this, which is also like dried flowers. It comes from one of these great big stems type thing, so I'm assuming that's going to be enough for that. And then we need some blue ones, and we're going to need 3 of these, and these just pull apart and they come in basically 3 little prongs, which you can see probably better on there. And I need 3 of them. And so let's see, what's one more? And then I need 4 for the other one. So, because obviously we're doing 2 buckets here, so I'm going to get those ready as well. So that's 1 in a second. In fact, there's like 2 there, so I'm just going to split those. Oh, if I can. I will split them, whether it wants me to or not. 1, 2. Doesn't quite have 3 on it, that one, but it's fine. 3, and 1 more. 4. Okay, so I don't think I need that anymore. I also need 2 parts of this, so I'm gonna make this again a little smaller, and I need 2 separate parts, so I'm gonna do 1 there. As long as it's got 4 leaves, I think we're okay. 2 there, so that one's done. And then this one here stays as it is. And I think that's all my bits, other than they want you to put it all together using a little bit of strand from some of the fabric that we've used. Now, I'm not very good at tying knots, so I'm going to go with that, especially this size, so I'm not going to be doing it that way. So I'm pre-warning you, that's just not how it's going to go down. So we want to tie three of these together, so it would have been easier just to have done what they do. So I happen to have a little bit of wire over, which I'm going to use instead. I think it's going to give me a little bit more stability, and hope that I don't need the wire for anything else, but I don't think I do. So I'm going to use a tiny bit of this, and if I do, then I got plenty of others. So I'm just going to get this wrapping around one, and then I'm probably just going to glue it in place, and then put a second one in there, because that's what it wants. It wants 3, and a third one, which is a good size one there, and I'm just going to tie this together, because that will be a darn sight easier for me. And I know you probably can't see any of this, and I won't know if you can or can't until after I look a bit later. Right. It's not working at all, is it really? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something different again. I am just going to glue them all together. So I know one of these two guys, whoops, let me get rid of that from the inside there, doesn't need to be there. These two are going to stick together. So I'm going to get rid of some of these now. And I'm just going to put them on a, like, cross them from each other, really. Something like that. Oh, come on. Patience, patience, right? I should have patience of a saint. Okay. And then with them now together, because they don't want to let me go, I just want them at a better angle. Well, that's not too bad. I've got bubbles on the glue. And then with this, we are going to put these 4 in. So there's 1, 2. And I'm going to get my tweezers for this. And 3. Separate these out a little bit. And number 4. I'm going to put those in like that. And then all these have it in the middle, which is fine. Just separating these out a little bit. Is 3 of these, especially as I drop them there. So something like that. And then we'll put it on the side for it to dry. And I'm sure that many people's look a lot better, but it kind of does the job. And I've just made a mess of that and made it all undone, everything that I just did. Get off me. And that is the problem with this glue. It just sticks to everything except what you want it to stick to. Alright, bear with me, let me sort out this mess. Okay, so we've got that mess sorted out now, pretty much. So I'm just going to get some more glue on the inside. Make sure there's no strings, because that's the trouble. This, as you can see, it's kind of stuck to my finger, but that's alright right now. And I'm just going to pop 3 of these in. 1, 2, 3. Just make sure that one goes around the right way. Which of course now it wants to stick to me again. Wow, it's such sticky glue. Nasty. Okay, and this one's now gone the other way. So we want that one to turn around and go like that. Then I'm going to put this to one side before I lose patience with it. Right, let me put that to one side. So that's what it should look like. Hopefully you can see that reasonably well. And I'm going to put it to one side, and that goes into a basket that we haven't even made yet, so good times. Alright, I put that to one side. What I'm going to do with these 2, or these 3, sorry, which are meant to be tied up together, is I'm just first of all just going to glue them all together, and then all I have to worry about is putting one piece of wire around it and sticking that on. And I'm going to let this dry for a good few minutes so that I don't lose my patience with that one. And in the meantime, I'm going to get on with the next bit, which is using wire around the red, which should be quite straightforward. So let me get that lid on. I'm not cutting the wire or anything like that at this stage, but I am going to just wrap this around, and we want it to go, I mean, it's meant to be the string, but it's just not my thing. and we want them to be reasonably together. Which, could you imagine doing this with string? I mean, it doesn't even want to stay together with the wire here. And then I'll probably undo some of the bottom when I get it how I want it, which isn't like this whatsoever. So maybe if I push that up more, it's like it's just got too much in there. Or maybe I just start a lot higher up. As I say, you know, one thing you will see with my videos is me change my mind on how I can do something and things like that. And this does go in a bucket, so at least that was something. Well, it doesn't look much better than what it did to begin with, but hey ho, what can you do? Just going to cut that. Quite like at least the gold effect. Let's see what else. So that's one that goes there. Then we got our little posy that I'm about to do. So we got to do 2 of those. Oh no, we have to complete 2. I need the blues back. Alrighty, blue. Where are you? Run away from you now. And I don't blame it. Okay, so because I want 3 of these and I'm just going to tie them all together anyway, I am going to try and just cut the 3 sets all at once. So maybe if I cut just down here, it will look kind of like a bit of a bundle before, without me having to worry about gluing it and stuff. And then if I get my wire, I can wrap it around, and it kind of looks alright. Well, that didn't wrap very well, but there. Chaos. Right, okay, we got one. Wow, it's not pretty, but you're not really gonna see it. I mean, this is the thing to bear in mind with a lot of these little models, is it may not be the prettiest. It definitely isn't, but you don't really see it. So I think I have finished with that. I'm just going to put that in one of the silver pots that I have, just in case. Now this one's been sitting there for a few minutes while we were doing that other one, so it's still a bit gluey-fied, as you can see. And I am just going to wrap this, hopefully, around. Maybe I should really just let it really dry, because all I want to do is stick to it, it seems. Alright, we're going to leave this to one side. Ah! Can't get the wire off me now. Alright, let's leave that bit to one side. We'll do you in a minute, and we'll try and get the other one, some of these actually done. So this one's quite straightforward. This is the little blue bucket. So let me grab that from the windowsill. So not that one, the other one. Oh no, I lie. It is this one. So what we're going to do is put some, I'm going to use the beacon because it's going to have time to dry. And I'm going to put that inside here. And because it's stringy, of course. And I'm going to put the red one in, which I've made so far. And I'm going to put the blue one in as well that I've made. And this is the one which nicely has the little greenery as well, which is why I knew it wasn't really going to show that it wasn't perfect. And then this will dry. Let me just turn it all. So I'm not even sure you saw any of that. But anyway, as I say, you got your bit of greenery, you got red, you got the blue, and this will dry, and I think it's going to look just fine. It may not be the way they say to do it, but hey, what do? You either have the skills or you don't, and I'd say I enjoy doing them, and it's all about the enjoyment maybe more than the skills there. Alright, now I'm going to put this on pause for one moment and wait for the glue to dry on this blue one and get that one bunched up together, and then we can get the other bucket done. We got some greenery to go in there as well, so I'm going to just trim that right now. And we got the pink pieces to go in there. I might even put, I got quite a lot of that pink. I think I might even put a little bit more pink in there, you know, and that sort of thing. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to pause. What I'm going to do is not do the wiring at all. I'm going to put my beacon 3-in-1 straight into here, into the bucket. And I'm going to ignore tying it all together. I'm going to put the blue in here towards the back, prop it up a bit with the greenery, make sure that goes in nicely. It's a little bit big for it, isn't it, really? Maybe I'm just going to cut that down. I don't like it being so big as that. Cut that down somewhat, just to have one in maybe. And then I'm going to put some more glue in for the pink and the fuchsia type colour. And the beacon, like, it dries well, so okay, there's a pink one that landed quite nicely. A bit like guesswork, isn't it, really? And then a nice little pink one right in the middle. The question is, should I put another pink one in? I'm thinking I should. I have lots of that pink over, so bear with me. I'm going to grab another piece of pink here, and I'm going to pop it right on in there. There we go. What do we think? And that's what it ends up looking like. Again, I have to make the opposite way to what the handle is, so let me turn everything. Gotta make a mess now. There we go. That'll be okay. And this one wants to stay on the tweezers. There we go. Get back. Don't join me. Okay, so it's kind of what it ends up looking like, and I think that looks alright. Like I say, a lot of these models, you know, you try and follow the instructions as best you can. It's just not going to be perfect. Well, I mean, you might be perfect, so you might do it, but I'm not one of those. I do the best that I can to make it look good. And you've got to bear in mind when they're so small, and a lot of the stuff is like that, and I just don't like doing the flowers, really. You know, the first model I ever did, because, you know, was the greenhouse that you can buy. My goodness, when I look back at it, it's like, wow, I've didn't really have any tools, and I know, like I say, you can do it without no tools, so, you know. All right, anyway, I wouldn't mind making another one, and I wonder how much it would improve. So let me clear this up, and I'm going to get the next section ready. In fact, I could probably just put it, to be honest with you, because it's very straightforward. It's one little pot, and this is to put the bit in that I didn't do, and some string, so it's all quite straightforward. So with this, you're going to separate out your string. You don't need it to be this wide. So, and you're going to have measurements of 2.6 centimeters, and you want 3 pieces. 2.6 centimeters. On the back of this mat is purple, and it does have the centimetres, but I think pink kind of shows everything a little bit better. So I'm just going to do that. I could probably, well, it doesn't matter whether I use scissors or use this really. Anyway, this is a single piece of this. One more, and I think this is not used on anything else either, so there's quite a lot over. And that's the nice thing about these types of crafts, is that you do get quite a lot of things over. And for this I'm going to use the 3-in-1, and we want the big hole towards the top. Okay, so I'm just going to put some around like this. And just basically spread the glue, so I'm going to become nicely sticky on it, and I'm going to put 3 spread threads over it at different angles. If I can let it go. So where this stuff sticky. And one in between. Doesn't want to let me go. Maybe I should get one on first, huh? There we go. Gosh. And then last one. Don't let me go. So it says to do 3. And in the end, as much of a pickle that was, and I'm not even sure, I keep bringing things too close to me, so I'm not sure how much you saw, but it was a bit of a pickle to do, and I did keep sticking to it because I smothered it with glue. May not have been the smartest thing to have done there. It doesn't really want to let me go at all. Right, let me just start this whole thing again. Well, I'm going to clean up mine. Right, let's see. Let's start that again, because that just became a mess. So I didn't even pause, because I think it should still be quite tacky in order to get this to work. So I'm just going to put this one on. I'm going to hold it down for a second. My hands are really quite sticky right now. But this stuff should, this type of glue is a bit better at coming off with soap and water. And then I'm going to put another one on. I'm really just hoping that there's enough glue left on there to do it, because I think I'm wearing most of the glue. And then lastly, one more. You know what would be a better idea was not to really do it this way at all. Would have been just to have put them on top of each other, got the middle of them like this, and then done them all separate, going downwards. The string. And if they let go, so you can see the string, gotta love invisible string. And then just pop that on it. That's not much better, is it, really? But the end result will be there. I'm going to take one off. There's 2 on. One more to go. I think I want it there. So let's just make sure that's going to stick. I'm going to give it a few minutes, go and wash my hands because they're a pickle, and then get the ends of this down. And then what I've got to do is I've got to thread some of the threads through, and I also need to use some of that wire that I was using to try and get the flowers all together. So I'm going to get this off me because it really does want to stick to me. And let that dry. Alright, speak to you again in a second. It's going to give me a second for you, a few minutes for me. Alrighty, let's get the show on the road. Okay, so once they are done, and they are not very fixed on the sides yet, but the next bit that we have to do will resolve that anyway. So you need about 15 centimeters for this. This is just a bit longer than that. And this time I'm going to use, because I want a little bit of precision to get this started, especially with the hassle that I had doing this, to be honest with you. Patience is definitely a thing. So I'm going to start it off by just tapping a little bit of glue on the side here, and then I will go around like this. And like I say, this is really sticky glue too, so I mean, you want glue to be sticky. I mean, you know, it says what it's meant to do on the tin. And go around all around the top there like this, and then continue for another layer. So of course it's all going to come undone because, you know, that's what it does. And I just want to stick to everything. Alrighty, so what you want is you want 3 rounds of it going around, however you can do it. I'm going to get one on, and I'm going to wait for that to dry. That's the way I'm going to do it, because I have a lot of patience in the drying process for sure, and to enable everything to come together. So, okay. Actually, yep, I'm gonna give it a moment and I will be back in. Alright, I've given that a few minutes for that to dry. I mean, it's not dry, but it's enough. Now I'm going to use a bit of tacky glue because it's kind of like I want a bigger surface area. And I'm going to want to go around 3 times. So I'm just making sure that I covered enough with glue to hopefully be able to do that, and that I won't need any more. So go around, and this feels better. I mean, this one you can get off your hands a lot easier, to be honest with you. And I'm not showing you a darn thing, but anyway, I use tacky glue, and I've gone around 3 times, and I'm going to hold that together, put this lid on. Need to be patient with myself. I'm not very patient with myself, obviously. And you can see here, it actually looks kind of okay. The end result is all right. I'm going to cut this piece off with just a pair of scissors. It has got the 3 rounds on that it needed, that you can see here. And I can, because it's tacky glue, I can just push them up a bit and it will look alright. I'm just moving a few bits around here, but yeah, so it's stuck to me right now, but there you go. Right, okay, you can't see it well at all because it's like white on white and things, but generally when I watch what's being recorded, I've got it on quite small, to be honest with you. Maybe if I had it on a bigger setting, I could see what sort of detail that you're seeing. Maybe I should do that. Seems like a plan. Okay, you see a bit better. Alright, so it does look like the picture is the main thing, and I did it. Patience. Honestly, a lot of these things are real to do with patience. Okay, so now I need two types of wire. I need that skinny wire after all that I was using, but not too much of it. I also need some thicker wire, which was the gold. And I'm just seeing if I still have some of that left. Or I might use the silver otherwise. So let me see. It does say use a little bit of the wider one. So let me see. I've probably got it in the box. So hold on one moment. Alright, I can't find the gold wire. I know I used extra on the lighting because I preferred it a certain direction. So it could be that I just used more for that. Either way, I'm going to use the white instead, which will be fine because it's white on white. So I need, let's see, 0.8 centimeters, two of them to make the handles. So again, very small. Need to find those and hold the other end, otherwise they're going to ping. And do one more like that. I'm going to use the other end and just take that as a guide to here. Of course it pinged, that's exactly what I said it would do. There's one. And as I've got quite a lot of this white, I will just cut another one because I have no idea where that one went. And all you're going to do is loop these. So I've got some these, some rounded ones, and I'm going to just loop it round so it makes it like an urn handle almost. So you can see that there's tiny U, and the same with this one. And I can pick it up if it really wants to talk to me. This one's a bit bigger, but again, it's a small price to pay for the patience that I've had to have right now. I am gonna trim it a little bit just to try and get it a little bit more the same size. Now it's too small. Dang it. Patience, patience, patience. So this size was about right. So let's just do another one. Let's get that ruler going. 0.8 is about here. Get that going. And go, pretty much. And this like almost perfect, you know, so it's typical. And it's good, but it is rather typical. Right, and then you attach these to both ends of the thing, and because it's going to be hanging from it, I'm going to let it dry for quite a while. So we're going to be putting a hanger on this. Now you want these pointing outwards, so you don't want them falling down, just pointing outwards. So something like that. And then do the same with the other one. And then I am going to leave that to dry for a good half an hour. And the tacky glue does dry very quickly. So you can see there's two on there. However, because I know what it's going to be doing, I want to make sure that that's really dry. So while that's drying, I am going to get this piece ready. We need, let's see, 8 centimeters. So there's mine. It's really unhelpful actually that it's in inches there, but still, 8 centimeters down to here. So let's just cut that off. Get rid of all of this and this. Get rid of some of this stuff here. And this won't need glue. And basically what we're going to do is we are going to make some hooks down the bottom, which are going to loop over those others on the pot we just made. So I not going to tighten them up because that would be silly at this stage, but I am going to get it ready. And then when we put it all together, we're actually going to put it on the house, on the swing. So I'll probably do that before I even put this into it, and then we'll be able to tighten it up once it's there. Okay, so that's that, and that's weighed in there. A couple of other things, then we can start getting everything together, is I have to cut out some very small butterflies. I'm not even sure where they're meant to go, but then you're meant to fold them in half, so that works. I was going to show you what these books look like. So this is one of the books, so really are very cute. And you can see like each page is really quite detailed and things like that. It's a shame that you stick them into a book shelf and you don't see the beauty of them. But hey ho, this one's going to go on a chair, so maybe if somebody wants to have a look at it, they'll be able to. I'm going to pop that in there for now. Get these butterflies cut out, and then we are about to put everything together. So basically you have to fold these in half. So we have two. I'm not actually sure where these butterflies go on the picture because I haven't seen them anywhere yet. But evidently, yeah, I guess we're making two of them, but I don't know where they're meant to go. All right, let me get those cut out. Hey, welcome back. So it was only a few seconds for you, but it was a lot longer for me. So the little one that we were looking at with the hands, that needs to have the plant put in. Do you remember that very first plant that I made? Oh dear. The very first one that I made was, and I'm like, well, I don't even need that yet. That was where the butterfly went. So I did pop a butterfly on there. And now I'm just going to put that inside this little pot. So this is pretty stable now. And then we can put everything together, which is always, to me, the most exciting point. I do try and put most of them together as I go. And I can see that that handle is definitely not set, so I'm going to need to give that a little bit longer. So, and you can see that this is what it will look like when it's set, which is kind of cute, and it will be at an angle, so I'd like it to be more of an angle like that. Okay, that's what we're going to have it as, and we're going to wait for this to tone up a little bit more. All right, let me get everything out and we can get it all ready to go in. Okay, see you in a sec. Alrighty, and here we go. Now it's looking the wrong way to you, but there you go. So what we're going to do first is put in the little pictures. So I'm just going to lie that down. I'm going to do it slightly this way so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put the pictures on, and I'm going to use 3-in-1, the beacon, for this. I have already put the table in, as you can see, and these need to go not too high up, but we want the little one, the one with the flower, big flower, over here roughly, and we want the other one a little bit lower down around here. So let's get those on very quickly. It won't take a moment. And you can see, make sure that that's as square as I can get it. You see what I mean about the frame? It goes flat against a wall anyway, so it seems an awful lot of, sometimes there's a lot of effort for something which doesn't overly show. Right, and now I'm going to turn it up on the other end, and you can see very next to there is a tiny little hole, and that is what my light is going to go on. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on. And again, I'm kind of using the beacon because it works quite well for this type of thing. Now that said, I put the wire straight in the glue, so it's going to be lovely. But it's okay because it's on the end that I'm going to tear off. Maybe I should have threaded it first and then put the glue through. Sorry, I've pup's got a squeaky toy, of course. And she knows how to use it, as they say. Right. So I'm just going to pull this through. I'm going to have this pointing somewhat down. Let's turn that a little bit. Right, so you can see that it's looking down. I haven't done anything with any of the wires yet, but I will be doing that very shortly. Okay, next we are going to put in the big frame here, the bookcase. So I'm just going to glue the bottom and the back of this to make sure it's flat. It's all very, it's been sitting a little while because, like I say, I made this before. And it doesn't really matter if this is too stringy because none of this is going to be seen, but we do want to make sure that it stays in. And we should have time today to do the frame, is what I'm hoping, or at least show you a little bit of it and the end result. So this goes in here. Try to get that in without getting in your way. And we can see that we've got a problem with our picture, so I'm going to pull our picture out a little bit. Fortunately it wasn't set so that it's not so bad, and in fact they look really crooked, so give me a second, let me look at them myself. Yeah, bear with me. I mean, it looked pretty crooked, didn't it, really? It looked very crooked. I'm sure you probably saw that before I did. Okay, so that's kind of in, and you can see it's pretty much against the wall here. Let's push that back a bit. Yep. Happy with that. And I've lost a picture from up here, I noticed. We will find that. And in fact, one of the books fell out too. So give us a second to have a look at this one. And this one's all about birds. It's kind of cute. And there you go, all different pictures. Like I say, it's just a shame that they get glued in. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to re-put it back in. And I'm going to glue inside the bookcase. And I'm also going to glue this tab because I found something else had fallen off. And that's okay. And put the book in there, underneath the lace. There we go. And I don't know where that thing is. It could be anywhere. I will look for it in a little bit, but I've got the glue there ready for it to go. And then the other thing that I'm going to put in is this. So again, I'm going to... I thought about this afterwards. I would have been better off... actually... Yeah, I would have been better off having the straight part against the wall rather than the slanty bit, but hey, done now. I think that's probably the way it was meant to be, but most of the instructions for this are quite sparse. So let's see. So pop those in and it fits pretty well. And yeah, because I don't have it the right way round, it's not going to go flat against that wall. But that's okay. It is in. Right, let me see if I can find the little plate that fell off here. Hold on. Now I can't find it to hand, so not really a problem. I mean, is what it is really. So I am going to glue this little bit of metal onto the thing here. In fact, I may not glue it, I might just place it like that. But let me put my little pot on it first, so I can get it the right way round. And I've got one in. The other would be good. Can't see for looking. doesn't it? Looks ever so crowded on that side. I don't like it when they always look so crowded. Okay, that book that I made, it is time for that to go on, and it goes on the little step. Let's make sure I get it the right way around. Doesn't go on the step, it goes on the chair. I love it when I, mean one thing and say another. Now the good news is, because it is going just on, on the chair here, it means that you can actually look inside, which is kind of cool. And then we're going to have our slippers, which are just going to go down the bottom of the invisible person who's on the swing. We're also going to put some blobs in, because this is where our flower pots are going to go. And if I find that picture that's meant to go there, then I will add it and we'll show it. I can't remember what it was even like, to be honest with you. But obviously I knocked it or I moved it too soon. Probably one or the other, or both. Okay, so I'm going to put the this one, the pink one, in first, and then follow it by the red one. Or the one with the red flowers. Actually, I'm going to put it the other way around, because those ones are a lot taller. And I like height on these. I'm stuck to it because of the way the glue is. And this one too. Right, and when I've got this one down, I've got one more thing to add, which is in a bag still, which is a kitty cat. She's meant to have some flowers as well, but I have not seen what I'm meant to make. But maybe I'll just make another one similar to what I made for up there, and put that on her. So again, you could put her anywhere you want. I'm just gonna put her where roughly the picture says. I'm gonna have her in here. She's very cute. She's got a little butterfly on her leg there. So I'm gonna just pop her here like this. And then I'm going to make some flowers to put them in there, and I'll do that now. And then I will get the wiring ready to go. Just before, yes, I'll do that first. All right, let me get a posy for her, and I'll have another look for that picture that I've lost. All right, I made a very quick posy as such, nothing particularly special. Now I'm going to move on to the wiring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all weld, because I like using my Bondic, where I want these to go, and I'm roughly going to get them to all join up here. So I need to get around this corner first, so I'm just going to put a little bit of the weld over there as a bridge. And this is another drippy one. I seem to have an awful lot of drippy ones and a bit of UV light to stabilise it. Only thing I don't like about this model is the lighting is going to show, and now we can work on the rest of them. So I'm not going to tie all of those up yet. I'm going to get it all wired up first. So just bear with me. Let me get the main wire. I don't think I've got the batteries either, so I need to go and get batteries for it. Let's see if it's got any in there. I'm going to assume it doesn't. It does not. So I need to go and get a couple of batteries, but in the meantime, before I do that, so you won't get to check if they work or not. Yeah, not yet anyway, because I think, let me get this right, because I always have to triple check myself. The red wire goes with the white. Okay, so I'm going to get all the whites together here. And there's nowhere to, it doesn't have a little container to put the wiring box in. It kind of just drags around the model, and that's not my favourite thing either. But it is what it is. So I'm just pulling off the caps that they leave on. And I'm going to, I think I said to you before, I know I did in the first video anyway, is wiring is getting all the wires to come together just is not overly my gift, for sure. I struggle with them every time. This is quite tight, by the way, just so you know when you do yours. It is quite tight. And then add the red one to this. And then I do have my handy dandy wire. Make sure that I've got all the colours in there. I think I'm missing a wire. I think it's fallen down. See what I mean? I'm just not very good at this. Don't seem to be able to tighten them enough, which is why I need the wire. My puppy's got something that it's probably the plate that I've lost from the top there. You know that, right? Well, if it is, there's not going to be much left of it. Or she's got a tissue again, because that's her favourite thing of all times. I don't know what she's got. Okay, so as I was gonna go and say before I realised I'd dropped a wire, these are actually quite tight. So, as in the wires just fit. They weren't generous with the wires. They're quite often generous, and all you do is put the wires inside and just twist away. And oh god, good grief! She was actually playing with her own ball. Holy cow! And all you do is twist them, and it takes all the guesswork out and saves using those little sticky strip things, which you can tell I'm real fond of those. So now I'm going with a grey wire and do that. This is slightly off camera, isn't it? I apologise. I'll get this one better for you. And now this goes with the black, so get all the bunch of pull your grey wires and here. And then I'm going to tidy up. After I've done this, I will tidy up all the wires with Bondic so that they are nicely in place. I prefer that than tape. But like I say, it's just, you know, I like somewhere to hide the battery box rather than having it trail behind the model every time you want to turn it on. But it is what it is. It was a Christmas present for me actually by my sister, so I really shouldn't be complaining. I know we're the end of March, but hey, you get busy in life, don't you? Right, now all you do is on the end of these grey wires here is you pop this in. It's got a little hole in the middle. Ooh, can't show you. I just can't get the angle right. I think you can see it looks like a black hole, but it isn't. All it is like a way to wire them. So you just put those in there. Hope you get as many as you can in there, and then just keep turning it and turning it and turning it, and then give it a tug. And if you can give it a tug and you're not feeling any looseness, then you're done. And look, one fell out, so now I'm going to have to pull that off and try it again. It's because they really are not generous with the wiring. Some places I end up having to cut the wires to get them shorter. Not with this one. This one's really very tight. Alright, I'm going to get this on and get these wires tidied up. I'm just conscious that I don't want to go over the time. And then we can see what it looks like. Okay, so I've welded these down. I probably should weld this one down, but I have a feeling it just won't work. So let's test this. Alright, let's see if it all works here. Let's get it on camera. There we go, a bit better. I mean, it looks good. You can see I did the little posy. Did it really straightforward. I did a couple of the green little things with some blue flowers, the ones I hate, with a couple of pink ones to brighten it up. And I reckon that looks pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm liking it. I mean, good God, that picture's crooked. Well, fortunately that glue's not quite dried, so that's handy. Good grief. I obviously don't have a straight eye. I probably should measure these things. The dogs. Okay. Little monkeys. Okay, that looks a bit better. I'm alright with that. Right, let's test this, see if we work. And there we go. So you can see that the lantern, that one's on. The little lantern on the table, that one's on. And then the one on the wall here is on, but not against the wall, which is not quite what the plan was. Let's hold that there a second and turn this off. And of course this has fallen off because I've got it at an angle, so let me put that back on there. There we go, that's fine. Alrighty, so now to make the frame. Now frames are not my favourite thing. So it comes in several sections. Let me just get this back because things have fallen off. And I'll get this sorted and I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so they come with paper on and also a see-through one. So you need to take the paper off, which isn't the easiest thing to do. So you get 3 sides with it. You take all the brown papers off. You could probably leave the clear on until done. You also get a sheet, which is difficult to see, of transparent. This transparent will go over the window right here. So it go over that window. I'm not sure why they leave it right to the last minute and why it's so big, but that's where it's meant to be going. It did make me wonder when I saw it where it was to go, but that was it. So you can see why I don't like this box. Every time you lift this thing, the wiring dangles. I really don't like this idea. Anyway, I will get this cut down to size because that isn't the right size, and I will get these brown papers off and then I'll show you what I do. Alright, so I have a couple of braces, so I'm going to pop those in. I'm doing it that the plastic that has a bit of the cover here still on is on the outside to save any fingerprints. So I'm going to just rest it in there, and then I'm going to get this one, and again I'm just checking to make sure it's on the outside. And pop that in there. So this has always been the problem that I've had, is in order to seal it, you're meant to put, no, it's gone on the inside, meant to put glue all down the edge. Well, unfortunately that makes a right mess and it doesn't look very good. So I did find an alternative, which I bought from Amazon. Amazon seems to be very much my friend, so just bear with me. I will zoom out actually. Let's see. I'll give you a better idea of what I'm doing here. And the pickle my desk is in for these brown paper. Anyway, so all I'm doing is putting it at a 90-degree angle when we get there. I don't know what I was thinking. And I'm just going to make sure that the plastic is off there, like this. And then, let me zoom in again. I can show you what I mean. So, I purchased some, where are they? Here they are. Came from Amazon, and you just glue them on the inside. So for this, it's going to have a roof on it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you can put, believe it or not, screws, if I can get them in the camera's view, like little screws in it, but it doesn't really need for what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put them on here and glue them on both sides. And this will be the top, which will then hold the other bit. So I'm going to put one on here, and one in the middle. Oh, and don't, just a point here, don't use super glue because it can stain the glass, and, well, it doesn't stain it, it makes it misty, it gives you that misty effect. So you're better off using, I'm going to use just 3 in 1. Actually, you know what, I'm going to use Beacon 7000 for precision. Okay, I will show you what it looks like. Alright, I am going to let that dry, and once it dries, which of course I should be doing on greaseproof paper, not on my board, but never mind. Then once it dries, I will take the plastic wrap off, and it should end up nice and clear. So while that's doing its thing, why I put these extras on the ends, by the way, like this, is just when I turn it upside down, the right way up, it will have just a little bit more stability. And that's kind of the idea, at least. And I'm still manipulating this. And now I've got the lid on. I am going to turn it up the other way and let that, make sure it's all lined up. It's looking pretty good. It's looking good enough compared to what I did. So I bought these on Amazon because I was so tired of my frames always look in such a mess that I ended up stop making them. And then I come across these little things. I thought about using the screws first time, but I couldn't get it to work with this type of thing. I don't suppose this is what it's for at all whatsoever. But it works, and I've done it on another one and it looks really good, and I've got some more on order. They do come from China, so they take quite a while to come, but they will look lovely. And I'm just going to take off the plastic, and you can see it looks great. Oh, such a satisfying feeling. And the same with the side here. So of course you can see the little squares, but it's really not a big deal. And where did I start this one? There it is. And then I'm just going to leave this to one side. So that is this model done, and I'm going to very carefully put it on my windowsill, which is where everything dries. I just make sure that just before I leave it there, because it will become quite hardened, that it is fine. So like I say, that is, let me get this back for you, that is the kitten house. It is very cute. I have my little slippers there, or mules, and it has all the things, and I think it looks really nice. I never found this. I might very well find it when I tidy up after this. Let me show you what I'm going to be making next. My daughter actually got this as a Christmas present. It's called Cute Fun, and it's Create Your Own World. And what's actually in it, I'm going to be making a wood build, and it is the Sailing Memory. So that will be the next one that I will be doing for my daughter. It's one bought for her, but she doesn't have really the time to be able to do it. So she asked if I'd put it together for her. So that's what I'm going to be doing for next time. So I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Okay, bye. Oh, and just one other thing. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully you are enjoying it. I know I make a lot of mistakes, but at the end of the day, you know, it looks pretty good. Let me take this off so that you see the glare. I mean, it looks like the picture on the box, and or I can even show it to you on the book. I mean, it looks, you know, exactly like that. My swing is a little bit higher. Not everything is perfect, but it still looks a pretty good build, and it's got a nice little cover on it. Shame about this picture up here that I lost. I probably will find it when I'm tidying up now, and I will get ready for the next one. Like, subscribe. I will see you again, like I say, hopefully tomorrow. Bye bye.